I said national championship to Billy, like, okay, come on now. But to John and the Kroger and the many sponsors, thank you for making this Governor's Cup event such a success. And to the honorees, thank you for all you've done and the success that you had over the past years. When you look at this football team and you think about this university, I can only think about the coaching staff that I have. And we have an outstanding coaching staff, and I'd like to introduce some of the guys right now. My defensive coordinator, Vance Bedford, is those guys are sitting right back here at the back. Wide receiver coach, Ron Dugans. D-line coach, Clint Hurt, he was the ESPN Recruiter of the Year. Linebacker coach, Brian John Marie. And I have our secondary coach, Larry Slade. And 2 or 3 of the guys are out playing golf. When I think about last season, I think about the bowl game. And the victory that we had was we were able to set the foundation for this program. And there was 25 seniors on that football team. And out of that 25 seniors, 14 were starters. Now you lose 14 starters and you start thinking about rebuilding. And that's what we're in right now. We're in a phase of rebuilding. I know the governor said he don't want to hear any strengths or weaknesses or whatever, but I have a whole lot of weaknesses right now. We're a team, I was just reading a stat the other day and it was interesting. Out of 120 teams, I think it had us ranked 119 of inexperienced players. We will be a very inexperienced football team. And it's a football team, when you look at our quarterback position, you have Stein, who has not started. You have Bridgewater, who's a true freshman. A position that, when you look at a football team, you always look at the quarterback position, and Tim would know it's a position that has to have the leadership of the program. And right now, we're talking about 2 players that have never started a football player. Actually, 3 with Dominique Brown that has never started a football game for us. So it's a weakness there. So that's one weakness for me. Our offensive line, we returned 1 starter in offensive line. Mario, but we had guys who played with cover, with Kesley, with Hernandez, but we returned 1 starter to the offensive line. The strength, and when you look at our offensive side, is their running back position. You got Vic Anderson, who as a true freshman was a Big East Player of the Year, gained over 1,000 yards. And then with Jeremy Wright, played a lot last year behind Bilal Powell, but you do lose your leading rusher in Bilal Powell. Then the wide receiver position, you return Bellamy, turn Andrell Smith, and then you have Chad Chester at the tight end position. So offensively, you're looking at 4 starters returning on our offensive side. On the defensive side, our major concern is our defensive backs. You have 2 cornerbacks, Johnny Patrick that was drafted, and Bobby Burns that played also that started, that are gone. But the 2 safeties returning, Shenard Holden and Akeem Smith. The linebacker position, you lose Brandon Heath, but you get Dexter's back, Dexter Heyman, Preston Brown, and Daniel Brown. So you have 2 starters back right there, one that played a lot. Probably the strength, and we do have a strength, but probably the strength is our defensive line. When you look at Scruggs, you look at B.J. Butler, look at guys that have played a lot for us. Savoy, a position that we have a lot of numbers there. Now it's a matter of them going out and playing the way they look. And then in the kicking game, you return Philpott, who was our kicker and our punter. But it's going to be a year that we just get the young people to come together and we get some leadership, then you always have a chance. But when you're totally committed with the right attitude and you have respect, discipline, and sacrifice in your program, then those things can happen. I don't know how far away we are, but we do have a ways to go. But at some point, we're going to get this program back to where it needs to be. I open up for questions. Any questions, please feel free to ask.